Welcome to the Kentuckiana Hoops podcast. I'm Noah Breitenstein, the founder of Kentuckiana Hoops. I'm a rising senior at Ballard High School in Louisville, Kentucky, and I've been extremely lucky to play for excellent coaches that have sparked my love for the game. That includes Coach Shannon Weaver, former Auburn University assistant coach, Coach Zach Satimbre, current Tallahassee Community College head coach, and Coach Chris Werner, a future Kentucky High School Hall of Famer. After my final season of high school basketball, I plan on being a manager at the Division I level, and after that, trying to enter the coaching ranks.
My name is Cole Thompson, and I am the co-founder of Kentuckiana Hoops. I'm a rising senior at Louisville Collegiate School in Louisville, Kentucky. I've started varsity there since my freshman year. I have been fortunate enough to meet many people inside the basketball community that have impacted my love for the game. I plan to play for 4 years at the college level and then make my way into the college coach's business.
All right, Cole. So the Sweet 16 was canceled due to the coronavirus, but if it had carried on, who would have won state if it had happened?
I definitely think Male High School from here in Louisville. Howard Fleming, 16 points per game.
Illinois State signed me up.
Yeah, D1 guy. Tyron Moore, going to be a high major D2 to D1 player, I think. 18 points per game, one of the deadliest snipers here in Louisville.
Probably
and
the best
the
scorer I've seen come through the state in the last 2 or 3 years. He can really, really score. Jake Evans is another guy Male has. He's going to be a walk-on at NKU next year. He's a really, really savvy point guard.
Junior Cam Pope. Honestly, he's a younger guy, 2021, but I think he shot with the best of them here in Kentucky.
Yeah, Male was really good. Their opponent of the year was us at Ballard, and they beat up on us a couple times, but we got them once. But once they had Howard back, they were a different team. Howard Fleming was really probably the second, maybe third best player in the state this year. He was really, really impactful.
Definitely. I mean, he only played 13 games in the season coming back from his injury, but he really was a difference maker for Male, and I think he would have impacted the tournament really just because of his skill set. 6'5", athletic, point guard. I'm looking forward to seeing him play at Illinois State next year.
Yeah, I think he'll find the court early at Illinois State. He'll be able to play there early on, and, I mean, if you can play, you can play.
They had four guys scoring double digits all season, with two other guys right there on the fringe of getting double digits. So, I mean, they had scores even coming off the bench. I mean, they were an impressive team all season. They
were absolutely loaded. I mean, they had they had four seniors that were really, really good, and then that are all playing college basketball. So Howard Fleming's going to Illinois State next year. Tyron Moore is going to Moberly area Community College to play for Pat Smith, who's actually a Kentucky guy. Jake Evans, NKU, like I said.
Darren Horn's doing a great job over there, really growing the program.
And Noah Courtney is going to Southwestern Illinois College.
Yeah.
And so that's a junior college.
And then Kobe Scott will be attending prep. He'll be taking a post-grad year down at Experience Academy, which should be good for him, help develop his game.
Yeah, and then they have another senior, actually, Elijah Priest, who has not made a decision on where he will be going next year.
I think he's one of the better sleepers that are still unsigned at the moment.
For sure, and he had a big junior year. He was hurt most of his senior year, but, I mean, you were in the building for his big shot against Trinity and that double overtime game. That was nuts. I mean, he can really play.
Talking returners, I mean, Cam Pope, Trey Stone, Des Lindsay.
Caleb Glenn. You got to start with Caleb Glenn. Like, he can really play. Dude.
If he does develop into a wing with the wing skill set and with a nice outside shot, I mean, he's a high major D1 guy.
Oh, for sure. And if he can, if he grows another couple inches, he's the real deal. He's so athletic. I mean, he's got a man's body already. Scary.
He's only 2023. He's still got 3 more years of high school basketball, and he has a pretty good class coming up with him.
Yeah, and he's a true freshman. That term's kind of been thrown around recently in Kentucky high school basketball. There's a lot of reclassifications, but Caleb is a true freshman, so he should be really good. I mean, he was probably Male's second or third best player this year as a freshman. So I'm excited to see what he does in the next couple of years.
Male was definitely a top 3 team in the state all year, without a doubt. I think next year we can almost see the same results. They're going to be top 5 all year long.
I honestly don't know about that because they had such a really good senior class. I understand they bring back Caleb. They bring back Des Lindsay, who's another big guy. Cam Pope, who's a flat out just score. And Trey Stone is pretty good, but they're young, so they have Jamal Chambers, who's a 2023 kid who can play, and Kyron Tilley's another little point guard who's pretty good. But I just think they'll be young, and I don't know how. They're not my pick to win the 7th region next year. What other teams do you like to win in this hypothetical?
I think Ashland Blazer had a great shot. I mean, 2023 point guard, Colin Porter, 2022, Cole Villers. Both of them were the 2 leading scorers. Cole with 20 or 17 points per game, Colin with 15. They were going to go into the tournament 33-0, which is very impressive.
Everyone was hating on their schedule, but 33-0 is 33-0. It's hard to win 33 games. They were on SportsCenter. They hit that buzzer beater. They had some good wins, too. Madison Central wasn't normal Madison Central this year, but they beat them. They beat Butler, who was a solid 6th region team. They beat Trinity, who, started off slow, but ended up having a pretty solid year. Colin Porter is the real deal. We've been hearing about him in the Kentuckiana basketball scene
definitely
for
a
years.
D1 guy.
I don't know. I think it's early. It depends, but it's definitely early. But he can play for sure at the high school level.
And then also they had 2020 Ethan Hudson, who 14 points per game. Of course, they're going to lose his scoring next year, but with their transfers coming in, I don't think that's going to...
They reloaded better they have a chance to be better than they were in their 33-0 season.
Yeah. Transfers such as Sean Markham.
6'9", big guy.
2021, 6'9", from West Virginia, transferring in. In 2024, Xander Carter from Greenup County averaged 11 a game there last year.
As an 8th grader, so he can really, really shoot it.
Like you said, they had some pretty good wins. They're losing some, but not much, and they're picking up a lot. Because I heard that Sean has a brother who's 6'8" coming in, and he's a 2022, I'm pretty sure.
And, as you see, their 2 best players are both freshmen and sophomores last year, so they're young. So their guys are going to keep getting better, and they're going to be even better next year.
Yeah, they're going to be in the running same as they were this year. They're going to definitely be in the state tournament if they have the season that Coach Mays over there is definitely hoping for.
Another team I liked was, Collins. They've got 2 Division I guards. Just starting with that, Davion McKnight he can go.
Phenomenal.
He plays hard all the time. He can shoot. He can pass.
Coach Stansberry is getting a steal with him. Him and Zion in the backcourt.
I can't wait to see him and Zion Harmon in the backcourt. The Kentucky backcourt at WKU, oh my God, Diddle's going to be rocking. That's excellent. Davion McKnight, he averaged 20 points a game, and like I said, WKU. But their other guard, who's also Division I signee, Marcellus Vale, averaged 16 points per game, and he's going to Sanford. Marcellus could really shoot it. He was more of a scorer. He didn't really handle it as much. Davion had the ball in his hands a lot more, but Marcellus could really flat out score and shoot.
And Marcellus, when they need, of course, Davion made most of the plays, right, when they needed one. But Marcellus, if the ball was in his hands and they needed a bucket, he was definitely going to get them one.
For sure.
They had some solid wins last year, too. They beat Madisonville North Hopkins, who 2 D1 guys.
Right.
They beat McCracken County with Jackson Civils from Murray State commit.
Yep.
And
Noah Dumas is the
real deal as well.
He can play, yeah.
And they also beat Oldham County, who had a really solid year this past season.
Yeah. The last team we think would have had a chance to win it is Madisonville North Hopkins. Kenny White, starting there, he's a Tennessee Tech commit, or he's a signee now, I think. They were 31-3. Kenny White can play 6'7", athletic, really, really fluid, and guard skills.
He's a guard. He is a wing. He's a wing, but he's got some guard skills in him. Athletic. He can handle it. He shoots it pretty well. He's got a great looking stroke from the outside. I'm looking forward to seeing him at TTU next year. Kayshawn Casey, 6'9", big boy down low.
Big boy. But his touch is, you would not expect it from a guy that size. He's got great touch, and his feet are surprisingly quick. I really like Kayshawn Casey. I think he's going to be good at UT Martin.
I think he'll be a great fit there. Another one is Deljuan Johnson. He's going the JUCO route, Wallace State guy. After 2 years there, I think he's a D1 dude. He's got to learn how to play some defense, but once he figures that out, I think he's going to be a low major to mid major guy.
For sure, he can play. I saw them play McCracken County at the King of the Bluegrass, and he really impressed me right off the jump because I was looking at their roster, and the only two guys I saw who were like heavily recruited were Kenny White and Keshawn Casey, but Dojuan Johnson, just athletic. I mean, he's about 6'2", 6'3", and he's a guard. Like, he can really play.
Yeah, they had some solid wins. And in the King of the Bluegrass, they played Bishop McDevitt, who is ranked top 100 in the country, I'm pretty sure.
Right, yep.
They beat them. They also beat McCracken County.
They beat them twice, yeah.
Twice last season, which is pretty solid.
Yep.
I mean, overall in this list with these teams, I mean, several D1 guys that are going to be D1. Collins, I'm not sure, and as well with Madisonville, North Hopkins. I don't know how they're reloading next year. I know they're both losing a lot.
A lot. I don't know if they'll be able to compete for their regions, but I don't know what the young guys are over there. I know, I just know they're going to be losing a lot. I'd like to see them compete again, but it's tough. Like, when you lose 2 Division I players, and I mean, in Madisonville, North Hopkins' case, like potentially 3 Division I players, that's just a lot to lose.
I know in Eastern Kentucky right now, we got a lot of kids transferring around, trying to find better fits.
I mean, I think if any one of those 4 teams really could have won state. It's just kind of who you liked and who was playing well at the right time. Another team we kind of talked about before this was E-Town with Jaquez Franklin. He's really, really good.
He got a University of Illinois Chicago offer right now.
Yep. They beat John Harden, who didn't lose last year until Rupp Arena. Or did they make it? They lost at Rupp Arena, I think.
Right. And
then they're defending 2A state champions. So they beat them. They beat Bardstown.
But he has a pretty good group around him.
Yeah.
I know they got some 6'4" to 6'7" dudes, athletic. They're a team that just gets after it. Really impressive team.
So, are you cool if I move on the conversation to the 2021 Kentucky Rising Senior Class?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to start it with what do you think about Ben Johnson? Bellarmine commit, Lex Cath guard.
I think he's, between him and Cam Pope, best 2 shooters in the state next year.
Ben Johnson can let that thing go, and he's sneaky athletic.
He is. I had that video of him
dunking on Caleb Glenn. It is crazy, and I mean, Caleb Glenn is a big kid who can jump, and Ben Johnson just punched one on him.
Yeah, that was impressive. And I mean, he's not just like a shooter, like catch and shoot. I mean, he's pulling up off the dribble from volleyball line. I mean, nothing but net. I mean, it's crazy.
He averaged like 25 for Lexington Catholic, and I think Lexington Catholic beat Covington Catholic, which that was probably their best win all year.
Cov Cath was solid this year.
And Cov Cath was really solid, yeah.
Ben actually has a brother named Tanner Johnson, plays at Bryant University.
Oh, yeah.
He's a dead-eye shooter, pretty good player, but, I mean, yeah, that family, basketball is in their blood for sure.
Clearly, yeah. Another guy in the Kentucky class in 2021, although he's not a Kentucky native, he may as well be. He's been here since his 8th grade year when he won a state title with Bowling Green. Zion Harmon, who's at Marshall County and is going to WKU after this year with Davion McKnight.
Yep, so he reclassified up, right?
No, he's still 2021. He never reclassified to the 2020.
Oh, right.
He's staying next year at Marshall County.
Right, I was thinking of Christian Lander out of Indiana.
Yeah.
But Zion, I mean, top 25 player in the nation. I think smaller guy, but I mean, he's played with Boo Williams' AAU team.
He's been dominating 17U EYBL since he was in like a freshman in high school.
Yeah, freshman
like
year, 8th grade. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, he's played on the EYBL level. I mean, that's the top-notch players.
He's been playing for Team USA.
Yeah, he's crazy good. He's definitely the best player in the class in Kentucky.
One of the most skilled players I've ever seen. He is just can shoot, can dribble, great passer. He'll be really, really good once he has better players around him.
I'm looking forward to see him and Davion McKnight partnered up.
Yeah.
I know I brought it up earlier, but wow, I can't wait.
He kind of reminds me a bit of Frank Mason at Kansas. Just a little guy, really skilled, kind of really bigger build, but really strong build. But
knows how to use his body really well.
Yeah, and a really good leader.
Yeah, great balance on him.
My favorite player in the class is the next guy we're going to talk about. Zeke Montgomery from Fern Creek, I think he's a high major guy.
I want to say he's high major. Right now he's got a LaSalle offer, which is probably a mid major.
Yeah.
LaSalle's a good school. I think he can be a high major. I think coaches need to take the chance on him because I think he is that guy. He's definitely the top sleeper in the class.
Oh.
Just because, 6'6", 6'7", athletic, shoots it well,
He's
gets
so
to the rim.
skilled. He's so smooth. I mean,
Yeah, he's a player, and he's an all-around guy, but he's a team player.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's kids that I've seen that are at his skill set, and they don't work hard. I mean, he works hard.
oh, for sure. And what's great about Zeke is he's not the main focus on offense at Fern Creek. Even though he's probably the best player, he's not the main focus. So, like, once he gets to the college level, he's already ready to not be the primary guy. He can just step in and be a role player early until his junior and senior year when he starts to take over.
Right. Let's talk big men. Coaches love to hear about big men. I mean, what do we got? I guess we got Sean Markham coming in next year. I think he's D2 guy, I think. He doesn't. I wish he moved better. But Trey James, he was committed to Wake Forest, decommitted. What do you think about him?
He's a big boy. He's as big as they come. He's got a really good body. He's working on his skill set. He's good around the rim and he can block shots. I think he can be a pretty good big at the college level. It just takes some time. He doesn't have the fastest feet, but I think he'll be pretty good. Do you have anything?
I think he's good. I mean, you get him in the post setting screens.
I've
seen him play. I've seen him play. He's great at pick and rolls. Is his bread and butter.
And he's a good rebounder too.
Yeah,
he crushes the glass.
What I love about his game is he's just a workhorse. Like he just is the man that's gonna try to get the job done.
Right, and he's a true big man from like that you see. Not in the modern game, but like there's definitely still a place for him. He's just a guy who's going to grind it on the post. He's not really going to step out and be your finesse, skilled big man who's super quick.
And you can't find kids like him often.
No, 6'10", 250 pounds. Like, you can't find that. He's a big man. Who else we got?
Darius Washington, Morehead State offer. He's about, 6'8"?
He's about 6'8".
Fern Creek, let's talk about their team real quick. Just for next year.
They're loaded. I mean
Jaden Rogers at the point guard position. He's got, 4 or 5 D1 offers?
Right. He's got Evansville.
Miami,
Ohio. He's got one more. I can't recall, but I know he's got at least one more.
Then they got Zeke Montgomery,
right.
Top sleeper.
Well, right, but at the 2 they have Darian Lewis, who's really good.
2022 kid, really good. He's
quick. He can shoot a little bit.
He's gonna open up some eyes, I think, this next season.
I agree.
For sure, his senior season.
He's gonna explode. I'm already calling that.
And they also, I think, they have the most athletic kid in the class. 6'7", 6'8", Sirius Warren.
Oh my God, this kid can fly.
I mean, definitely the flashiest dunker, best dunker in the state.
Best dunker in the state for sure.
Since his sophomore or freshman year,
he can absolutely fly.
His
skill level isn't quite there yet, but if he can really become a more skilled guy, the sky's the limit for him.
I think the best way to put it is if there's any D1 coaches that want to take a chance on him just to develop him for 2 years, I think that's the kid you take your bet on because his athletic ability is unmatched. You don't find it often.
You do not. Just like how we said about Trey James with size like that being you can't teach size. You can't teach that. What King has, he is a freak.
And then back to it, like we were talking about big men. Darius Washington at the 5 for them. 6'8", Morehead State offer, like we said. He works hard. He can step out and make a 15, 20-foot jump shot, but he shoots a little bit. He's not...
Sometimes his motor isn't always he doesn't do it for me. Sometimes he kind of seems like he's unengaged, but when he's engaged, he rebounds hard. He's finishing putbacks. When he's engaged, man, he can really
he's
change
for sure
the
a
game.
D1 guy. In my eyes, I think he's a low major to mid major guy. I think he's one coaches definitely need to check out because he's just got the size and the skill level that most guys at that size do not have.
Yeah, for sure. And we kind of skimmed over Jaden Rogers. I kind of want to go back to him real quick. Jaden is about 6'2", really, really skilled point guard. He's a really good scorer, but my problem with him is he kind of looks to score a little bit too much and doesn't always look to be a true point guard. And sometimes he rushes into shots that aren't great shots. And that's kind of his issue, but I think Jaden Rogers will be a really, really good college point guard, and he'll be one of those guys you see by the time they're a junior or senior scoring 20 points a game at the mid-major level.
What about Sekou Kali from DeSales?
So we've been hearing about him since he was brought over to the States.
Yeah, to play for Aspire Academy.
Right, so he was playing for Aspire his first 2 years, his freshman and sophomore year, and he just played for DeSales. He's a big guy right now. His offers are Akron, Eastern Kentucky, and Evansville. But he's been hearing about Cincinnati here. He's been hearing from Cincinnati and Xavier. But his freshman year, there was a lot of rumors surrounding UCLA being interested, but that they had a different staff then, so who knows now. But
I still think he can get that offer, though. I mean, Sekou is a big kid. I think he's going to be a working project his first year or so, but I think he is.
I don't think he's UCLA level, honestly. That's really high level stuff. He's a big guy, kind of slow footed, but he can block shots. He's pretty good. I think he's a solid low major, mid major player. I don't think UCLA. I think that
it is a reach. It is a reach, but I think he definitely has that potential with 2 years of work, but unfortunately for him, he doesn't have that.
Right.
He's going to be a senior.
Yes, agreed.
Let's talk wings. There's 3 I want to really get after. Is Deshaun Jackson, Isaiah Mason, and Scotty Stroud from Beechwood.
I mean, I'll start with Isaiah Mason. He's about 6'5", 6'6". I'm really surprised his recruiting hasn't gone up a little bit.
He's got about 4 or 5 offers.
Yeah, but they're all the kind of local offers. I'm expecting. I was thinking if he was going to have AAU this spring and summer, he was going to blow up. That was my pick. It kind of sucks for him that didn't happen, but I mean he's got plenty of in-state options that he can go play at NKU. He can go play at
EKU,
Moorhead. He's got IUPUI too.
Right.
He's a skilled guy. He needs to add some muscle. He's really, really skinny, but he's skilled, about 6'5".
But I consider him a wing, but I really do think he has point guard tendencies. Just the way he handles the ball, his smoothness.
I saw them play once, and Turner Buttrey, who's in the class of 2022, who's got an Eastern Kentucky offer, he was their point guard. But when Turner Buttrey was out of the game, Isaiah Mason was bringing the ball up the court every time.
I think at the D1 level, I think he will be a point guard or shooting guard.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely skilled enough to do it.
I've been forgetting about Scotty Stroud. Shoots it well, 6'4", athletic.
Yep. He's at an all-A school, so I think Beechwood, as long as they have him, they've got a chance to win the all-A
without a doubt
state championship for sure. And Beechwood's a really, really good academic school. So I'd assume Scotty Stroud's kind of a high academic kid. So I wouldn't be shocked if programs like Belmont, other schools like that got interested.
I wouldn't be surprised if some Ivies hopped on.
Oh,
some
yeah,
Ivy
for sure.
Schools. If he is a high academic kid, because Beechwood, like you said, is a very well-known academic school throughout the state of Kentucky, for sure. I think he's a top-notch shooter, gets to the rim, sneaky bounce and athleticism. Yep. He's got good size for a position. Just needs to add some muscle. Let's talk Sam Vinson.
Yep. He's got Bellarmine and NKU. And, I mean, he plays for Highlands. He can ball. What do you think about him?
I saw him play. I forgot against who, but I saw them play at Eastern this year in a jamboree. Played really well. He has some guys around him that are good players, but he's definitely one that stuck out to me. At the time, I honestly didn't really know his name, but after that game, I definitely knew who he was. He opened my eyes.
Yeah, I haven't seen him, but I know the type of players, like we had Coach Davenport on our Zoom call a couple weeks ago, and I know just the type of guys he gets there. And if he's recruiting Sam Vinson, I assume he's a good player and a pretty good dude.
I was on his Twitter page. I watched his highlights, and I mean, wow. Athleticism is there. Point guard, he's going to be, I think he's more of a two guard. He's not necessarily, I wouldn't consider him a point. But, I mean, good size for the position. Needs to add some muscle. But, I mean, he still has a year. I think he has some of the best potential in the state right now. Honestly, I think he's that type of player.
Locally, some guards just in the 7th and 6th region that we kind of cover a little bit closer are Jalen Fairman, Cam Pope, and Delshawn Sims from Seneca. What do you think about those guys?
Delshawn, I'll start with him. Seneca, plays at Seneca High School. They have a stacked 2021 class. Stacked.
Oh my God, loaded out of nowhere. They got Byron Cox and Delshawn Sims to transfer from Central after their freshman year, where they were playing a lot of varsity. They got them to transfer from Central to Seneca.
Right. I think Delshawn, he had 31 points on Ballard this year.
Oh my God, dude!
Lit it
I
up.
was sitting there. He couldn't stop scoring. That was like the worst night of my life.
I'm not sure what he is academically, but he may be. I think he is a JUCO guy.
Yeah.
Junior college route will be good for him. But I think he's definitely a college athlete.
Oh, for sure.
He's going to play college basketball.
He is, I think, maybe going to be the 7th region player of the year next year. He is that good. The question for me is, with Coach Coleman gone from Seneca, will he stay at Seneca or will he leave? I mean,
because Coach Coleman just took the DuPont Manual job, correct?
Right. Yeah. So with Delshawn Sims, the question is, like, if he leaves, will he be eligible? But I think he definitely needs to work. I would recommend him to just stay at Seneca and just play and ball out like he did last year.
100% agree. Because coaches find players. He'll definitely be on someone's radar. I know us on our account, we're going to keep liking and retweeting his stuff just because we want to help not only him but every player out to get to college and achieve their goals. So I think he'll definitely find a place to play. I just think the JUCO route is best for him.
Yep. What about Jalen Fairman?
He transferred over his junior year from...
Was he at Jeff?
I think he was at Jeffersonville.
Jeffersonville, yeah. Who just got the job at Jeffersonville, side note, but Andrew Grant just got the job at Jeffersonville.
He was an assistant coach at Missouri Baptist University.
Yeah. And his main focus right now is get Will Lovings-Watts to stay at Jeffersonville. Will Lovings-Watts can flat out ball. They need to keep him at Jeffersonville. He is the real deal.
Staying off track with you. I think Will Lovings-Watts is a high major kid.
Oh my God. Will Lovings-Watts is a sophomore. I guess he's going to be a junior next year. He can fly. He's skilled. Like, he's good.
But back to it, Jalen Fairman, I think he's a D1 kid. I think he's a D1 kid since his freshman year. I've seen him play AAU. I've seen him play high school ball. He flat out balls. He gets the job done. He works hard. I mean, if his team's down by 10 with 2 minutes to go, he's going to do everything in his power to try and make his team come back and get the dub.
I saw them play a couple times this year. What really impressed me about Jalen is his passing ability. He was really good at just kind of running the show and being a true point guard and setting up his teammates. That's what really impressed me with him. When I saw J-Town play, I saw them play like 3 or 4 times, and I was impressed every time I saw him. And Cam Pope, we kind of already talked about Cam, but Cam Pope is going to fall into a Tyron Moore role for them next year.
And Tyron Moore, 18 a game this year, leading scorer for Mayo.
I think after 2 years at Moberly area, I think Tyron Moore will end up being an OVC type player or better.
I agree, and I think Cam Pope, I don't know if his route's going to be JUCO or not, but I think he's going to be the same type of player and their builds are the same. Their playing styles are very similar.
Very similar.
The way they shoot it and get to the rim.
I would say Tyron probably handles it a bit better than Cam does.
Yes.
Cam's handles like,
and Tyron's also a better passer.
Yeah. Yep.
But the
shooting, everyone said Tyron was like such a good shooter. I think Cam Pope is right there with the level of shooting.
What did he shoot? 48% from 3?
Yeah, I think they both were right there percentage wise.
But I don't want to say Cam's not as good as a passer as Tyron right now because Tyron had the ball in his hands a lot more often than
We didn't
Cam.
get to see really Cam with the ball in his hands last year because he was kind of a role player.
I think once we see the ball in his hands more next year, I think we're going to see more of his game, and I think he's definitely one coaches do need to check out because he just fits the mold of a basketball player.
All right. Let's look at the rising junior class. We got a couple guys in the rising junior class that already have college offers. What do you think about James Jewell and Christian Spalding from Eastern?
I think they're one of the deadliest combos in the state. Both already hold D1 offers. I think they're really good friends.
Do you think Eastern has a chance to win the 7th region next year?
They had a good run at it this year. I think they're going to have a great shot next year.
Right, they were in the regional
they're not losing
semi-final,
anything.
right?
Because
they were down
bringing
to
back.
Mail by 5 with 2 minutes left.
They are bringing back alongside them Ben Craig.
Right. Chivon Ashby.
Right.
They lose literally no one. Like they had 0 seniors on their roster last year.
So they're going to bring back a lot of talent, and with those two leading the way, I think they have a great shot at it.
Another guy, Maker Barr, my teammate at Ballard.
Maker came over this year.
Had an outstanding sophomore campaign for us.
Yeah. Luckily, he was eligible to do so, and he definitely made an instant impact on that team.
He's really, really skilled. He can shoot it well. I'm excited to see what Maker does next year. Who else do we have?
Let's talk Tim Hall. I think
Tim
Hall is a sleeper. He reminds me of a Sierrius Warren in the 2021 class.
Yep.
Just because of his athletic ability. I've seen Tim play Paul.
He's
Lawrence
got
Dunbar.
potential on top of potential on top of potential.
Right.
It's just like, will he capitalize on that? And
I've seen him play at Paul Lawrence Dunbar twice this year. And
I saw them play out at North Oldham in the North Oldham Classic or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I saw him play twice there. And both times, skill-wise, he's okay. He's a little shaky. But just athletic ability, at the high school level, a lot of kids are, under 6 feet and unathletic.
Right.
Or not athletic. So
like you and me.
Yeah. So, Tim Hall against us is just going to dog us the whole day. And that's what he did in both of those games I saw. He was just going, it's hard because he's 6'6", and he's got a pretty big build on him.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
He's definitely a D1 mold player.
Definitely is the D1 build, for sure.
Yeah, we'll see him on TV in a few years.
You know who I really like? Another J-Town kid, but actually he's going to New Albany next year. But Brandon Razor Moore, he has his freshman year at J-Town, he averaged like 12 a game. Last year he was their leading scorer again. He can really shoot it. He's about 6'5" or 6'6" and can really shoot it. He's probably a 3 or a 4 at the next level, and he's not like super athletic or anything, but he can get the job done, and I think he's a Division I guy for sure.
The last two players we're going to talk about today is Terrell Cleaves out of Butler.
Well, he's transferring to J-Town.
To J-Town, which is going to be a great addition.
Because,
they're going to be scary next year. And also
Casey
Coach Stedman.
No, Coach. Who was fired or not? Who retired from coaching at J-Town or at Butler?
Gooden.
Casey Gooden. God, I couldn't remember it. Casey Gooden retired. Then who'd they hire? Brent Jamison.
From Scottsburg.
Scottsburg in Indiana.
But the last two players we're going to talk about is Terrell Cleaves and Riley Salmons out of Pikeville.
Terrell Cleaves, just to start, is an athlete, man. He can fly. He is a scorer. He has one thought on his mind, and it's get to the bucket and get some points out of it.
He needs to work on his jump shot, I think.
For sure.
But he's got a pretty form. But he just needs it to go through the net. But I think he's got the D1 body. He's got the D1 athleticism.
Definitely has the D1 body and athleticism.
Just based off, you can look at him and see his measurables and be like, okay,
that's a D1 guy.
That's a D1 guy.
Yep.
Same with Riley Salmons. He's 6'6". He already has a University of Pikeville offer. He got that his freshman or sophomore year. I've seen videos of him doing 360s, windmills. He can fly. He's 6'6". I think he's one of the more slept on players too, just because he's out of Eastern Kentucky.
All right, well that wraps it up for today. Thank you guys for listening, And in the future, we are going to have some people from different levels on the podcast. We're going to have players, coaches, and really anything in between. We just want to bring a lot of content to our followers. So thank you for listening.